Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 231 of The Established Facts. What is going on, everybody? How's everybody feeling?
This is different.
Right.
Unless it's not.
I guess
Unless it's not.
it's
That's
not.
right. If this is your first time joining us on The Established Facts, welcome to our podcast. This is only, I won't say second time because we've done some video, but for the most part, we have been primarily an audio podcast. And we're mixing it up, gosh darn it.
I mean, we're still an audio podcast.
We are an audio podcast.
I'm
yes,
talking,
that is
so
correct.
there is
I
an
plan
audio
to pull it,
component.
yeah.
We are now an AV podcast.
Oh, ooh.
But we're glad that you guys are here to join us on episode 231. We're going to talk a little bit about our GenCon experience, GenCon 55, GenCon 2022, however you want to, just GenCon.
Too many numbers. It was
Lots of
GenCon
numbers.
this year.
That's right. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and go into our introductions. I'm going to start to my left.
This is Princess Kaytie.
I'm Lance.
This is Josh.
This is Dr. Deb.
And of course, I am your host, Big Ton. And like I said, thank you guys so much for joining us on The Established Facts. If you are not familiar with our format, we're a discussion-style podcast. If you are familiar with our format, you already knew that.
Thank you for listening.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
absolutely.
And now watching.
So,
I was say, I'm going to get rid of it. We are a round table discussion.
Yes.
Around a rectangle table.
around
Correct.
a rectangular table, we have done a couple of roundtable discussion-style podcasts around a round table.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not as many, though.
Like two.
Yeah.
Both at GenCon, I think.
Yes.
No,
No?
one at PopCon last year.
I was
when we
not
were in
there
the
for
hallway
that
with
one.
Brandon Peters. And then one at Gen Con, which was...
In the
we had
Westin?
16 people.
That's right.
It was actually the room below where we did our interview with...
16 people, 2 microphones. It's the next generation of podcast board gaming.
Yes.
It was
It
something.
was insane. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, too. Anyhow,
So what's the deal with this belt on the table?
well, it holds your pants up.
No, that does not hold anyone's
Well-
pants up.
Belt loose, man. They're like that big around.
No. Try again.
Well, Josh and I, Deb, Lance, old school wrestling.
WWF.
fan. That's right, the WWF.
World
wrestling
Wildlife
fan.
Fund?
Yes, them.
Foundation.
All those pandas
love
in the ring.
Is it fund or foundation?
I don't know.
It's pandas.
It's whatever it was to steal it from WWE.
Correct.
I mean, sorry, take it back from WWE.
Yeah.
But that's it. See, that's how you view it, depending on what side of the courtroom
Right,
you were on.
right.
That's the other
Anyhow,
podcast.
we are wrestling fans. We're gaming fans. If you come and see us at a podcast booth,
Well, they
when we're at
could.
a convention. There we
Right.
go.
Yep.
Words.
Good.
English.
Good save there.
It's supposed to be my first language. We have a couple of custom belts. One of them is for our Stable podcast, which is our pro wrestling podcast.
Which is not necessarily stable. It's just the stable.
The Stable. That's right.
It's
Depends
important,
on the day.
especially if the discussions.
It's
we
that
have.
one wonky leg at the table.
Yeah, we are the Wonky Leg Wrestling Podcast. And then, of course, there is the Established
TM.
Facts, which is kind of our flagship podcast. And we decided, Josh decided, that since he doesn't have enough wrestling belts in his life, we would get a custom one for the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
So
It looks good on a table.
Deb's working on catching up with medical supplies or something.
What?
How much? How much?
I don't even understand.
Promise you
Yarn?
it's
Oh,
yarn.
yarn. Okay.
It's yarn. There's an issue.
How much does a percussion hammer cost?
$600, $800
Okay,
before
I mean, that's
COVID.
two of these.
Now I don't know what it is
It was
since COVID.
$300 just to service it.
Yeah.
Well, $50 to service it. $300.
What kind of
to
drum
add
do you
it.
play with that?
Percussion. It's
The
very loud.
glockenspiel.
Yes, that's right. Can you move it? Can you move it?
No, that's literally what
percussion
it'll
hammer.
sound like.
It's a single hammer inside a piano.
That's
it's a
right.
percussion hammer.
That's right. And if you have never seen or heard the Established Facts, this is exactly how we do
It
it.
is.
We have a topic, and then we talk about other things for 45 minutes. All right, so...
And then at the very end, we say, "Oh, we've been talking for
Oh, we've been
55
talking
minutes."
for
How
45
long have we been talking?
That's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about our Gen Con experience. I'd like to go ahead and start with Lance. We don't normally start with Lance because he likes to kind of lie in the
I'm the
shadows.
wrap-up guy.
You
That's
are.
right.
It's in
He's
the
in
voice.
the shadows.
But I'd like to start with Lance, kind of go around the table and just give like a general overview of, your experience with Gen Con this year, maybe some of the games that you got a chance to play, or fun things that you got a chance to buy in the vendor hall, or people you got to talk to and meet. Anyhow, any of those things encompassing in like a good overview of
I'd be
your
happy
Gen Con
to.
experience.
So the first thing that we did was we went and got those yellow, lovely bands that some people had to wait for hours in line, but because my wife and I went on Wednesday, we walked up to it and they said, "Here it is." We were done and through. So I had a good experience while a lot of people had a bad one. Then the next day was Gen Con proper. So we started with our very early games. My very first game was a Here Is Your Childhood Back game. It was a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition version of the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon from the 1980s called Back with a Avenger. And the man that ran it has been running these games in this particular realm with those particular characters for years. So he knows them all. He makes miniatures and he gives them to you as part of the price
awesome.
of playing, as
So
well as the
much
set of
cute.
dice that match your character.
That's
So
great.
playing Eric, the Cavalier, I got one that was a little silver with yellow and red numbers.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and Presto's was green with a different color green.
Yep.
I think Eric's or not Eric, Hank's was yellow and green because he's the ranger with the blonde hair and the yellow arrows. But they all matched the characters. That they were not painted, and he said, "I'm just giving these to you. You're going to use mine." And his were nice resin that had been painted personally, so they matched the colors
That's
on the
awesome.
cartoon.
That's so
Oh, and we played in the realm, and it was something I've been wanting to do, even in my own games. Like I throw little bits and pieces of the cartoon in, and this was just playing with those characters in that. And it was by far the best time I've had for a while in gaming. Following that, a couple of other fun games, fun places, and we'll get into other like happy memories, but this Gen Con brought back the feeling of Gen Con that's been lacking the last few years with us not going or only being at half staff.
Awesome. Katie?
Overall, I had a great Gen Con. So my younger brother has been coming to Gen Con with me every year except for the first year that I went. And he has always been in school, hasn't been able to come the whole time because my parents wouldn't let him skip school for Gen Con. 2020 was supposed to be the first year that he could come all 4 days. Well, 2020 didn't happen, and then in 2021, by the time they had Gen Con in September, he was back in college and still didn't get to go all 4 days. So this year it was really cool because he got to come to our Fogo pre-Gen Con lunch with us. He got to be there all 4 days with us. So it was really great to have
He's
that.
so tall.
Oh yeah,
Right?
he's 6'5".
It's not just that he's tall. It's the fact that he's 21, right?
No, he will be 21 next year.
Oh,
He is
okay.
12 years younger than me, so he will be 21 next year.
I'm just saying. Okay,
So he's
20
12.
Yeah, he's 12.
Believe me, it's difficult for me because I
Crazy.
think my younger brother, and I'm like, yes, he is a child. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
no, this is an entire adult man. Like, But it was great to have him all 4 days with us this year, and hopefully next year the plan is, as long as everything goes well, that it will be my brother and his girlfriend joining us.
Yay.
So that will be nice. It'll be
So
really fun
fun.
to have her with us. I think one of the highlights of our Gen Con was this was the first year we've done 2 True Dungeons. So
Nice.
Wow.
back in the day, we used to do 2 every Gen Con when they only offered 2 modules.
Right.
We would do one puzzle-based and one combat-based. Well, they've scrapped the puzzle and combat-based now, and they have more modules. And in past years, we were just like, well, we'll just do one of these modules. And this year, we're like, well, heck, we'll do both of them. Why not? And we really enjoyed doing that. I think we're going to do that moving forward. We're going to do 2 modules again every year because we really enjoyed it.
Good.
We'll
What is-
keep that in mind that you still do the True Dungeon. We like True Dungeon, but finding time to always do one is not as easy. But I have a lot of tokens that might.
Yeah. I
Same.
said that's what we
Might be able to
Yeah,
find a new
finding
home.
our group
We're the
of people to
that
get
roll up with the
together,
tokens,
it's
and we're
just
like,
harder and harder.
And I'm like, I'm our druid because I have everything kitted for a druid, and I've got all the leaves memorized.
There you
And
go.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, thanks, druid.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
great.
But I think they may need a donation of a
I know. I
pouch
heard
of
you.
tokens. Yeah, we'll get there.
I know
Maybe
exactly
that could
where
be
my
a
bag
show.
is.
Pull out all the 2 dungeon tokens and show people
I
how
still
many.
use True Dungeon tokens in my giveaways. Like when I have my random encounter game that I
Yeah.
play in the cons,
Yeah.
I have tokens from True Dungeon that I haven't ever used these. Here, you use them.
You use them.
We should We should start putting those in our raffles
Yes.
at PopCon.
Oh, that's
I
a
didn't even
good
think about that,
idea.
Lynn.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Y'all like
I'm
True
gonna
Dungeon
write
tokens?
that
Write
down.
that down, podcast host.
Good night.
You said that so condescendingly.
I laugh because the memories of how many iterations we've had of host for this show.
2.
Yep.
With interims from time to time.
Correct, and it's the interims, and I'm like, okay, then it was nope. Now it's back to Dawn, and now it's back to Dawn. You are
He's
the host. We come back
I'm the
to
parasite.
The host we love the most.
the host we love the most.
Guys.
No, it's
Guys.
true. Don't shake your head.
Okay.
Just all right, fine.
All right. Twist my arm. Okay, is that all you want to share for right now?
Yeah,
'Cause
because
we'll
we're
get
just
into
doing
more
like a
details.
general,
Yeah.
just like the goods. The goods was having my brother all 4 days, getting
Yeah.
to hang out with that nerd. I love him, even if he is like a bajillion feet taller than me now, and a full adult.
Wow. Okay. Well, GenCon came and went pretty quick for me this year. I spent a few hours on Saturday and a few hours on Sunday there, which was time well spent. I got a chance to see quite a few friends. We have a friend who hosts his own kind of gaming get-together the same weekend as GenCon, and I got a chance to go down there and say hi to them as well after I got off work. I went by and gave everybody a nice sweaty hug because it was 9,000 degrees outside.
Yes, it was.
But I did get a chance to walk the entirety of the exhibit hall.
At a brisk pace.
Power
Yeah.
walking, still walking.
Power
Still
walking.
It was really cool. I actually, not only did I get a chance to walk the whole hall, I got a chance to actually stop and talk to some people that are indie developers and stuff like that. So it was very focused and purposeful time in the exhibit hall because I knew that I had a very short amount of time to spend in there, which was great. And then I had to work on Saturday night for my murder mystery dinner theater group, which was a lot of fun. And the best part of it was I made some cash tips. So I spent it all on Sunday. Didn't even have to dip into any budget or anything like that. It was really nice. Yeah, and I bought, some dice and stuff like that. But it was cool. It was a good time. And like Kaytie and Lance have said, we'll get into some specific details about our overall experience and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a good time. I spent a cumulative 10 or 12 hours at GenCon for the whole 4-day weekend. But it was a good 12 hours of time. So yeah.
Good.
Deb?
Oh. Well, I'm going to leave some of it out because my husband's next, so I can't take away everything from him.
I did what she did.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, I was with her.
Okay.
The
I was
pretty
with her
lady
the whole
with the
time.
curly hair, she's mine. I was with her.
Well,
two of us? Yeah, all of it.
we did all of it. We didn't do all of Gen Con. There's no way to do that.
Those bathroom lines get long.
This was a different year for us because the child situation and finding folks to watch our kids was a little more of a challenge this year. So
What about the neighbors?
the neighbors, well, they only speak like Lebanese, I think, and they are school teachers.
Do they know how to feed children?
I assume so. I smell food coming from their house a lot, so I assume so.
There you
But
go.
I don't know if Samuel is going to eat
you
Lebanese
go.
or is it Indian?
I don't know.
Okay. Anywho,
I don't
Pakistani.
ask them what country they're from.
That's
I say hi.
That's true.
I thought you
Or
meant a
we
couple
wave.
of ladies lived next door.
But
At any rate, this
they're
was a
just
different
roommates.
experience.
I broke
You
Deb.
also much.
Oh, and that's the rabbit trail. There it goes. We spent less time in the evenings at Gen Con than we have in the past. So we didn't do the big Pathfinder special, frankly, because didn't have anyone to watch the kids. But it was still a really good experience.
Well, that and we had too high of a level character. We didn't make new characters.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. We have some great Pathfinder characters, but they're now high enough level that
can't
our
play
choices
anymore.
are limited.
Almost
Well, so
time
we
to
can't play anymore.
retire then.
No, if they start creating some 9 to 12 level adventures, we'll be in
Almost
solid.
time to retire
No,
then.
no.
Stop it.
Shh.
They're
But
still alive. They're not dying. They're just
Mummy
Going
They're
to
dying
they're
one.
going to a farm
mummy rot, that's
upstate.
its own discussion. Yeah. And there was another one. You got poisoned twice. I
did.
You did. Anyway, that's another story.
oh good lord.
But it was still a good experience. We did Pathfinder Society games, and I think all 3 of them I can say went really well.
We did
And
2.
We did 2.
We skipped the one so we could have the whole day in the hall.
Yeah, we needed more time in the hall because the hall. I actually cosplayed this year. I had not cosplayed for several years, but Saturday I actually did a cosplay. And I'm going to do it again because it was really fun. I got to play Tally from the Mass Effect series.
After we figure out how to get a fan in that bad boy.
That is so
Yes.
true because now I get the helmet
Just
suffering.
watch the hair.
What'd you say?
Watch the hair if you have a fan in your helmet.
Well, I'm sure you're right. Have you met my hair? Anywho, yeah, we'll work on that.
No.
Not formally.
No, that's awkward. But it was very fun to cosplay as Tally. My big purchase was a vest that I wore for my cosplay. I didn't want even new fancy dice this year. I just wanted something for my outfit for Tally.
Heresy.
It was, but
No, we had some on pre-order from another company.
Did they say Gen Con 2022 on them?
We have those.
Oh, okay.
we did get those, yes. And then we took the kids on Sunday.
No, those were free.
No, that's free.
Oh, you mean the D6?
That's the only one that has Gen Con 2020 on it.
No, it's not. There was like 5 vendors that had Gen Con 2022 dice.
Oh yeah, Metallic Dice Games had their
they were
sharp ed resins. Yeah, I bought
Anyhow.
theirs last year. So
They were
good.
gorgeous.
We already have the Dragon Eye dice, and we're getting how many 6 sets from them? We don't need more dice right now.
Because you gotta have one of every chromatic and the prismatic.
That's
right.
exactly our logical.
And they're going to do the
Then the metallics.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we took our kids on Sunday this year, and I think we need to just say we own part of Haba because of how many Haba games we own. Literally,
We have a shelf over there.
We have a shelf that has
at
Haba.
least 10 Haba games
yeah.
on it. at
So
least.
if
For
any
those
of
of
you
you
want to
just
reach
listening
out,
and not viewing, it means behind our shoulder there is a shelf
that
with games
way.
on it.
So if any of you have questions about a Haba game, I can probably help you out because I probably played it. Anywho, and that was really fun too. So
Do you have animals on animals?
Ew.
We have a game that's similar to it,
Yeah,
the Flotsam
similar.
Float game.
okay.
yes,
That utilizes that concept
also-
on a raft.
we
that
also have
moves
the one where you
between islands.
stack the princess, Maggie's princess.
Yes,
Princess
Unicorn,
Glitterluck.
Glitterluck.
Unicorn Glitterluck.
They have
That's
a
a good
stacking
one.
game.
I played that one. It's so much
It's-
fun.
yeah.
It's a similar idea.
They like that
Rhino
mechanic.
Hero?
It's good. We don't have that one
that
yet.
one is so
It is.
good.
It's card stacking, which
Yes.
is a little bit outside of the motor skills of the little guy
Yeah.
at the moment.
So that may be in another year or two. We may
Yes,
get that
don't
one.
worry.
That game is so good.
It's
on
good
the list.
stuff.
All right.
Anyhow.
Let me hand off to the other Demaree so he can continue with our adventures.
So, for those that watched episode 230, we did get the chance to sit down and have a nice conversation with Uncle Tracy.
I didn't get to see Uncle Tracy this year. Well, I mean, I saw him at the booth, but I didn't.
The
see him for
video's
visit.
gorgeous. You
Oh, I
want to
bet it
take a
is.
look at it?
I'll have to watch that. No.
And we did go by the booth.
At what website? TheEstablished.facts.com.
Established.facts.com or
Cool.
youtube.com/TheEstablished Facts.
Gotcha. Cool.
NDTEF's the Twitter handle because the Established Facts apparently wasn't available. It was weird, but whatever. So we did that, and then Thursday we had a Pathfinder Society game, and Saturday we had a Pathfinder Society game, and we did the Killer Breakfast on Saturday morning.
Yes.
And other than that, we actually didn't schedule as many games at all this year. We demoed a couple here and there, but this year, as Deb mentioned, was the getting kids taken care of, which I'm very grateful for those that were able to help us out.
Yeah. Seriously.
But we were focused on, all right, we're at the convention. Let's enjoy the convention. We managed to see the majority. Deb, I don't think saw everything, but I did manage to walk the rest of the halls and told her, this is something you want to go see. This is what you want to go see, etc. To help with that, because you did step away to go play a game with
I
Vanessa.
did. Yeah.
On Saturday.
And we had lunch. Which I got a request for a picture in my Tally outfit during
Right.
that when I was in the 97,000 degrees. Ooh, let me show how that helmet is
90
in
to
summer.
97 real quick.
It was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fluctuating as the sun
It's
was
the-
rising.
Right.
It's the heat index.
Well, and
Yeah.
because my sister was watching the kids overnight Saturday night, Deb and I went to the Ocean Air for dinner on
Nice,
Saturday.
yeah.
So I think I was really impressed by the Hope community. I think is who they were. We ran into a company that we did not get a chance to interview, but we hopefully will. That was raising money and does training services for people that are down in our luck, but they're looking for the opportunity to get into IT cybersecurity. You actually wrote it down, didn't
Yep. So they do a workforce development program credentialing IT for unemployed, basic education, and community centers. 95% of their people are low income. They do apprentice programs for cybersecurity, computer technicians, hardware refurbs, and networking
you?
administration.
And their official name?
It's the Hope Training Academy.
Hope Training Academy.
I got an email from them too.
Okay.
Nice.
So they set up an arcade, two
Yeah.
areas where they had a full,
Hi, Sarah.
almost entirely working emulated arcade area that was like 6 tickets for an hour or something like that. And then on the other side, they had these computers set up that were running emulation of old systems like your televisions, your Ataris, stuff along those lines, that were set up by the people that had been trained. So it was really a cool conversation, and we actually talked to them. I think it was Wednesday, while we were waiting to go talk with Tracy Hickman. We
that's
just
where you're
couldn't get lined up with the CEO.
Yeah.
We came back when they said to come back, and he wasn't there, and it was just a thing. But either way, they let us play
It's
for
like
a
they
little
were
bit.
at a convention with thousands of
I
people.
know, it's
And people,
amazing.
getting busy and stuff, which
So that was certainly memorable, but so
Shucks.
was just getting to play Pathfinder Society again. I know Cruffle and Zarya haven't had their opportunity to play as much as we'd like, and really wish there were people online running the higher level.
Are these
modules?
the level 10 characters that you were just complaining about?
level 8 and 9.
You haven't gotten a
8
chance
and
to
9.
play them as often as you
Yep.
like?
Not
Yep.
recently.
nope. Well, I mean, we've done online. The last time we played them,
I mean,
We played
and
them
online.
6 times in 2020, which was awesome.
Yeah.
For a society.
Yeah.
But playing the other
I have a
games.
second level barbarian
Yeah.
in
Well,
society.
he'll be 3rd level once I give you your Chronicle sheet.
God, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'll be 9th level and like 2 XPs, and then I'll be
good
joining
stuff.
Cruffle at 9th. But
Good
yeah.
stuff. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's a good overview. Let's talk a little bit about, and if you haven't gotten a chance to see us do like a convention coverage or anything like that when we're at a special event, we'd like to talk about the things that we thought were our favorite things, the things that we thought were our least favorite things, things that we'd like to possibly change for the next year to have a better experience or a different experience, and then what we're looking for when it comes around to next year. And if we want to make it specifically for Gen Con, go for it. If you want to make it for conventions in general, because Gen Con is usually kind of the end of the year for us for our convention time, because we do a lot of like spring and summer cons, and then very few like fall and winter conventions. So
Hi, BuildCon.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, true.
Joshy, I'll go ahead and start in reverse order from earlier. What would you say is your favorite game or Gen Con experience for this year?
It was nice to be back at the Killer Breakfast, even if I didn't get killed this time. We showed up right as things were, they were getting ready to start, and wasn't able to get. I got in the line, but they had to finish the row in front of us, which was fine. Not bothered by that whatsoever. But to have Tracy and Laura and I think it was their daughter
think
back
so.
Yep.
doing the song and the silliness and
They
watching.
did this The Greatest Showman.
Yeah,
the music
all-
was from The Greatest Showman, which we all love in my family. So I'm like, yes, I can sing and sound stupid to The Greatest Showman. It was
very good,
was
and it
great.
was just nice to see Tracy back in his element.
yeah.
Really enjoyed the society games, but I really think the most memorable moment was that just the crowd was so happy
Yeah.
to see Tracy doing the Killer Breakfast again.
Yeah, we were backstage. Vanessa and I, my wife, we were the first people to go on the stage. We were sitting back as Tracy's daughter is getting ready to go out and announce us as the first people. And just the difference in her and her brother from then to now, she was very audibly like, he looked so young back then. And I'm like, so did you. Because she has, I mean, aged not wrongly. She has aged properly. She looks well, but she just looks like a baby in that video. She had the short blonde hair back then. Now she has long brown hair.
So, and please forgive us if we are assuming that's daughter, because I can't.
No, it is.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
you got verification of
Yes,
that.
for
because
sure.
I might have. Okay, good. So yeah, it was great.
Deb?
Ooh, it's a hard one because I really liked our Pathfinder Society game on Saturday. It was a great group of people. Everyone was experienced. You could tell everyone was glad to just be around a table. And
I did not
playing.
like Mummery Out.
No
Mummy
one
Rot
likes
is horrible.
no one likes Mummy Rot. That was our statement for that game. There you go. The GM, which we found out runs games like went
Local.
down the road, so he's a
Family
local
Time.
game. Yeah, Family Time Games.
Oh, nice.
So he runs Pathfinder games there. So that was awesome. But I think the only thing that trumped it is that I got to dress up as Tally, and it came together really well. I wasn't sure if it was going to come together because you have this idea in your head and you're not sure if people are going to get it. But on Saturday when we were getting our food at the food trucks, the pierogi food truck was so good. Okay, but I was out and all of a sudden I'm just walking and I had the helmet off because it was hot, and so I had it under my arm, and we're walking. All of a sudden I just hear someone yell, "Tally!" and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And I turn around and I look and they were like, can I get a picture? And can my son and I get a picture? Sure. And so I put the whole outfit on and get a picture. And they were like, it looks great. And I was like, thank you so much. And that made it, right? As anybody who's ever done cosplay, when you hear your character's name yelled, and it's because someone was excited to see you dress up that way. So I'm going to do that one again. Just hope it's not going to be 97 degrees or I need a fan in that helmet. But it was just fun to be able to do that cosplay again.
Well, like I said earlier, I didn't get a chance to spend a ton of time in the exhibit hall, but I will say that probably my favorite part of going to the exhibit hall happened on Sunday, and I met up with a couple friends of mine, Kayla and Andrea, and we walked to like 3 or 4 booths, but we went to this booth that's called Impact Miniatures. They're actually local, but they have an online shop. They're from Fishers, Indiana, which is just north of Indianapolis, if you're not familiar. And they do some really, really great miniature sculpts, and they're all done out of industrial strength 3D printing material, so you can drop them and they don't shatter.
It's a miracle.
And they do chibi minis. So, like if you're not familiar with chibis, like the fat heads and short little body caricature style. Oh my gosh. I kid you not, I could have stood there. They have the entire cast of Firefly as miniatures.
Oh.
They have the entire cast of Princess Bride as miniatures.
Oh my.
They have xenomorphs. They have predators. They have 144 My Little Pony characters.
Oh.
It is
Which is really just
insane.
5
It's
that's
really just
repaint.
5.
And just color them different.
Just like the
So
Care
what's-
Bears.
What's interesting is that Marty and Doc just pulled up. No, I'm just kidding.
It's awesome.
What's
Yes.
interesting is they worked with an artist that was there at the convention. Not a local artist. I think she's out of Michigan, I think is what they said. But she did some really cool, like, custom artwork of some of the ponies that they have, I think, maybe played in, like, their own games or something. And these ponies were sick looking. I mean, it was like... There was one that was like gray and black that had these nasty looking like crow style wings like a Pegasus. Oh, I was like, hey, I'm on board with this. These are so cool. But they were very neat.
Necropony.
And yeah, kind of like that sort of.
Oh no!
They had some that kind of looked like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse pony style. It was freaking cool. Impact Miniatures. Check them out. They actually produced a game that is a roller derby race game. So a la Formula Day.
Yeah.
But you're playing a roller derby team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we need this
and
in
you
our
can
life.
actually buy more teams from them. They sell like the teams and stuff like that.
That's
independent
awesome.
from the actual board game. So anyhow, but that was probably my favorite thing of the convention because A, they're local and we love local, and B, I was already familiar. The reason I even stopped at their booth was because the coffee shop I go to every day before I go to work. Mm-hmm. One of the owners is a former roller derby girl and was a consultant for the board game that they designed, and they have posters.
Was she a
of the
Naptown
game.
girl?
What's that?
Was she a Naptown
She
roller
was,
girl?
Yeah, Joan Dark.
Joan Dark?
Yes, was a consultant for the game that they designed, and I saw the game on their. Or in their booth, and I immediately ran over and I was like, you guys sell this game? They're like, we designed it. I was like, oh my god! And I just fanboyed out. It was so much fun, awesome. And they were very, very, very cool. And I think Andrea and Kayla spent like $30 or $40 on minis and stuff like that for like their kids and niece and nephew and stuff like that. So yeah, that was probably my favorite moment of the weekend. But Princess Kaytie.
Oh, thanks, Don. Okay, so I had like a favorite moment, and then I had a favorite like game.
Go for it.
So this year, I was one of those people that Thursday, I was like, I am getting there. I am waiting outside those doors, and I am busting in to go get the thing that I want. So
You're one of those people.
I was, and I didn't
This
run
year.
because we're not supposed to run.
Right,
but
right.
I briskly walked.
Power walked.
So dispelled dice.
I call that the retailer walk. When you work in a retail store and you got to go from like, menswear to babies' clothes.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
get there in 3 seconds.
Assistance needed in childcare. Assistance needed. Yeah. So I was that person, and so Dispelled Dice this year had they're amazing dice. They do sharp edge resin dice with these really awesome like multicolored inclusions and stuff. They had a like 95 centimeter resin D20. This thing, I could kill a person with it. Like, it's a weapon.
Who needs another weapon? Just get out your
It's a
dice.
weapon.
Are you sure it'll be 95 millimeter? 95 centimeter is over a foot.
It's
Maybe it's
massive.
millimeters.
Okay.
Whatever. It's big.
I
It's
mean,
a big
it's
thing.
Here's the thing.
It's a basketball.
95 millimeters
It's still big.
is still
Oh, I
a
know.
stone
Chunky.
in your hand.
I know,
Hold on.
but
Well, here's the thing: 95
Chunky.
centimeters is just short of a meter.
Right.
Because math's the
100
thing.
meters.
Right, because
100
yeah, they
centimeters
need
is a
the-
meter.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Gotcha, got it.
Good point.
okay.
Anywho,
Ah,
millimeters.
metrics.
I love that
You know
idea.
what? We need that in our life. Somebody needs to make a 95 centimeter D20.
That would be.
They have the inflatable one.
That's valid.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
have one.
Sorry. I was,
No, that's okay.
the
Good,
engineer
yeah.
was totally thrown off
He
by
was
that.
like,
You
that
bought a
can't,
95
that can't be
cent.
correct. That can't be
That's
correct.
a centerpiece right now.
That takes
It
the place
sits
of the
on our
belt if you
kitchen
get it.
Have to,
Yeah.
yes.
100%.
Ah, yes.
We lose dog.
Gladly. No, you wouldn't. I would just be a talking die.
This is Don.
That's
our
his
dice.
avatar.
He's a mascot.
Yes.
No, wait. Deb likes the idea of both losing you and getting the die at the
I
same
want a
time.
talking die. That's what I want in my life. Okay.
I want to talk in
Speaking
there.
of
I'm sorry,
talking
Princess
Katie.
Katie.
Anywho, no, it's fine. Totally fine.
She did this to us.
Yeah.
You did this
You
to me.
did this to me.
So they had these 95 millimeter
Oh.
D20s, and they released one colorway specifically for GenCon. They've never made these dice before, and they had this one really pretty blue, but they also had a bunch of just like one-off experimental prototypes. And they were like, come get one, but when it's gone, it's gone. And so I rushed over there and I got one of those, and they also had these like $40 promo bags. And inside the promo bag, you got like a B grade set of dice. So you got just like, it's not bad dice, but maybe the inking is a little off on one of the numbers, and some other mystery object. And I got a 35 millimeter D20 that matched the 95 millimeter.
Oh,
wow.
That's
It was just like
awesome.
perfect. It was like,
Kismet.
That's awesome.
and you couldn't see what you got inside the bag.
Yeah,
It was a
just a
mystery.
blind bag.
And they were like, well, what color do you want? Because they all had colored tissue paper. And I said purple, because of course I said purple.
Of course.
And it just worked out. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. So that was just awesome. Like getting like that adrenaline rush of busting through the door right as
Yeah.
they opened the hall,
Oh.
getting to the booth that I wanted to get to, getting the thing that I wanted. Like that was... Oh, I had two of those moments. I actually had twice.
Go for it.
Sunday,
Go for it.
Sunday I did that, and I just absolutely hauled butt down to the Cosmos booth to get the Lord of the Rings exit game. So they do the
Yeah.
like escape room in a box games, and
Yep.
they had a Lord of the Rings one. They're like, oh yeah, we're only selling 50 a day,
Ooh.
and I was
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
oh okay, cool. Well then. I'm gonna be here
I'll buy
Sunday.
4.
PDQ.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, and I
Ooh.
just like I got in line. She's like, "Oh, you're here for the Lord of the Rings game?" I was like, "Yes, I am." Like, here's a bag and a poster in your game.
That's cool.
It was
Wow.
so
That's
cool.
fun.
That's awesome.
So those are my really cool experiences. My favorite
Yeah,
game.
that's great.
Yeah, like it was just like one of those like adrenaline rush
Our
moments. I
Gen
got
Con was
the thing.
bust compared to Kaytie.
Yeah.
I know.
Katie for
She's
the
like
win.
dopamine rush the entire time.
Married, no kids,
Yeah. That's a
all
thing.
the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Double
No,
the money.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm married and I had no kids and I was there for 12 hours.
Money. That's why.
Oh,
James-
okay. That's the third one. Yeah.
Dual income, no kids.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go with you aren't paying any money to pay for the kids.
Oh,
Right, right.
When you have
precisely.
2 of the 3, it's still kind of difficult.
Yeah, yeah. That's its
telling
own
me.
episode.
How much was your badge? $125. What'd you spend on groceries? $250.
The struggle is real.
Honest to God, dude, I think we spend more on grocery money for our dog than we do ourselves. Because we're like, yeah, only the best for our little baby. I guess I'm cool eating whatever.
Ramen,
Right.
baby. As long as he's got the
Ketchup packet and a cracker.
Pay me those Twinkies, babe.
Generic mac and cheese for me, Royal Canin for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He gets
Egg
the
sandwich versus
the-
raw
By the blue box.
organic.
he gets the special refrigerated pet food.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He does.
He
Absolutely.
does. Organic, only
That's
grass-fed
oh my
beef, along with the antibiotic-free chicken.
We love Finn.
I'm like, hey, the neighbors have chickens. Go get one.
Quick, bring it back.
No lie.
This is a family meal tonight.
Good job, Sparky.
Get me a chicken, you get the leg.
Good boy, good boy.
Oh my gosh.
Moving on from the dog. My favorite game. Got to play Above and Below. It was super fun.
Above and below.
So,
Well,
Tell
there's
us
so
about-
much truth to that right now.
Right? Tell us about that.
okay, so it's a game that I've seen at Barnes & Noble for years and years and years, and I'm just like, this looks really neat. But
I mean,
have-
not the recent
I
years.
have issues committing,
Oh.
and I don't know if I want to get it. And so I saw that we could play it at Gen Con, and I signed us up for a game because it was like, oh, we'll learn to play it. And I was like, oh, this is great. My husband and I both loved it. And then I went to the publisher's booth, and they don't even sell it anymore. They don't have another copy. They ran out of printings. And then I looked on Amazon, and Amazon didn't have it for Prime. It was like somebody reselling it for like $100 and some. And I was like, that's not how much that game costs. And I looked at Barnes & Noble, where I've seen it every year for years now. And they're like, oh, we're out of stock in stores, but you can get it online. And then just randomly this past week, I found it. Amazon had it on sale. Like $32.
Nice.
Wow.
And Prime shipping. And I was like, boop,
Run.
we're getting.
Yeah.
Take
Like,
it.
One in
Buy
stock,
now.
right?
Nah, I'm not
Yeah,
even
but
putting
it
this in
was-
a cart. It's buy
Yeah,
now,
no,
right?
exactly. But
Yeah.
it was funny because it was a game that I had seen, and it's an older game. It's been out for a few years
Sure.
now. But I was like, yeah, that looks neat. That looks neat. And then when I finally like get the gumption to get it, it's like you can't get this no more.
Oh yeah, man. I had a set of on a very quick tangent. I had a set of Chessex dice like that. Like I had this really cool transparent with like these wisps of orange in the epoxy, so they were like clear and then like wisps of orange, and they were called the Tangerine Collection or something like that. And I could not even tell you when I bought these dice. And I lost one or two of them in the house that we were all roommates in.
I
And
remember that.
when I went back to Gen Con the next year to try and find them, the set was discontinued. And
Yeah.
I was like, awesome. I have a 5-die polyhedral set, and I don't even have a D20 in this. This is awesome. So,
Supplemental die. They come into play when needed.
Yes. Yeah, these are what I like to call
Oh, I
my-
need 3d6. Somebody throw me a d6.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
Here's one.
I
Yeah.
call them
Please give that back.
I don't care if you lose it because I don't have the whole set anymore.
How could I need that back?
Not anymore. You don't even have the
He's
D20.
big, bro.
It's my emotional
He may
support
not
die.
roll. He may not roll well for you. Just be very kind. He's damaged. Oh my goodness! All right, Lance.
Yes, sir.
We have finally.
I've forgotten the question. What's
No, it's okay.
Highlight. What's your
Don
highlight?
was just
Favorite
Don was
game
just
or
telling us how he
convention?
lost his D20 in the war. It's okay.
Look.
The good part. We're on the good
I
part. of the
cope.
good.
I understand
Yeah,
that
yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
I had several favorites. So to bring it down, I'm always going to choose a game with my kid, right?
Yeah.
So there are two with my kid. The first game is the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon game. We got one ticket for the second game, and this one was the kids take the roller coaster back into it, but instead of going to the realms, they go to Ravenloft.
Oh.
And you're welcome, Tracy. I have introduced my daughter, and it is her favorite setting.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So she got to fight Strahd as Presto the Magician.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
So
Hearts and flowers.
we only had the one ticket, so of course I'm just sitting there loving the fact that my daughter is playing in my childhood with the characters. And then the dungeon master, who I'd played with the day before, said, I have this NPC character that I really need someone to run. So I got to play with my kid.
Yeah. Thank you.
So there was that.
Thank you, Dungeon Master.
And earlier in the day, a guy had developed the Disney characters as 5th edition D&D characters. So Belle was a character.
I might
Maleficent
kill over.
was a character. The candlestick guy, Lumiere, was a character. and the guy's like, I have a portfolio. Pick your favorite Disney character if it's in there, right? If not, we'll try to work it. But we all just decided since it's a con, we'll just make him. Because I would have made the guy from the Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Because we were set in the Black Cauldron. It's a Disney movie with a Disney princess that's not a Disney princess, right? So he's like, she never gets love. I'm making a game that's set in there. And they crossed over Frog Princess, or Princess and the Frog, excuse me.
Yeah.
And it was just great to have my daughter and my wife and I and several other children with their parents just eating it up. And we found out the kids are the murder hobos of the group. For sure.
No, 100%.
Like, you have Snow White calling on her dwarves to just go attack and slaughter people. And oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I just envisioned the Lord of the Rings scene where they call in the army of the dead.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Snow White.
Snow White just like
dwarves.
the girl had to do a whistle, like
every animal from the forest following her.
Yes.
Cavalry.
much like that. So the girl had to whistle, and as soon as she whistled, the dwarves came in and just ran amok. It was so much fun. So that was the fun family game was the D&D and Disney, so Dungeons and Dragons and Disney game. The other one was that one. Moment though was I was playing a Tower of Gaigarn game, which is run by the No Rails Adventure team. So what they did was they have two different versions. They have what's called the Wandering Monster Arena, so that everyone plays a monster, and you fight until you die, and then you get a new higher challenge rating monster, and you just keep going until there's one person, and that person wins.
I feel like that's a game that we all need to play.
I would be happy to run that.
I think that's a game we need to
They
play.
also have the...
Be careful though, that causes fights. Remember from a few years ago?
I don't care.
They also have what's called
the objective. This is all just...
They also have what's called the Kill It, Keep It game, where they actually have giant miniatures, beholders, and Bahamut dragons, and just all kind, and even little ones for like the kids. And you go around the table, so you get a character, and we all just go around the table doing damage to it, or healing our party, or helping each other out. And the person that hits the final hit point on the monster that kills it gets the miniature.
Nice.
They get to take it home.
Nice.
So I told them I would be
Great
happy to come
idea.
work for you because both of these games are fun. The moment was there was a guy who brought his 6-year-old son and was introducing him to the realm, to playing a Dungeons and Dragons through this because it's D&D light.
Yes. Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's combat, nothing else, none of the role play. Learn how to roll some dice, add some different numbers to it so that you can figure out how the mechanics work. And the kid was just having a great time. And the kid ended up winning.
Yes.
So he won a little miniature of his character that he was playing. And it was just grinning from ear because he started out not knowing anything. And the dad, he's from the Bronx.
Yes,
He's got the thick accent. He's just
yeah.
making sure everyone's having a good time. And that's infectious.
Yeah.
So everyone starts having a good time. And then the kid just starts wailing on the thing. And just, he killed me 6 or 7 times in the 2 hours that we played. And it was just fun. And just watching him smile. And then at the end saying, I think I like D&D.
Yeah.
Ugh, thank you. Thank you to the dad that brought that kid because that we have another one, right?
Yes.
So
One more
good.
for the good guys.
Right.
One more. That's
So
right.
those are the moments.
Geek culture.
I don't have any of the
continue.
energy in my story that Kaytie has in hers, but it's just the feels.
Oh, that's awesome.
No,
That's
it's all
awesome.
it's all right here. It's all in the geek heart right there.
That's awesome. Okay, well, let's see. We've done our overview. We've talked about our favorite moments. I know that we're having a really good time chatting, but we're getting close to being on, being out of time.
We don't need to be critical this year. We can move on to something else.
We care about time.
I mean, there's things that can change every year, but right now we're all so we've all had such a good time.
Yeah,
at Gen
no,
Con
I
Week.
totally agree.
I want to
totally
be a Debbie
agree.
Downer.
Oh,
Okay, well,
thanks.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
Deb. I'm Dr.
Here
Deb.
we go. Why don't we do this? Why don't we,
Rapid fire, fix this.
No. Oh my gosh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No. This is what I'm going to do. So we've got, normally we'll do things that we want to improve for ourselves or things that we're looking forward to for next year. Let's keep it short. We'll just throw both of those out.
No one in
and
this
keep it
group can
short.
be brief.
I understand. Try and keep it concise, but whatever you want. If you want to list something that you
Oh, you
are
said be
looking
brief. I thought
forward
you
to
said
for next
debrief.
year, or if you have something that you would
briefs?
like to
Yeah, exactly.
maybe throw out as some advice on something that you would like to do differently for next year to make your time better, go for it, whatever it is, and then we'll wrap up. Let's go ahead and start with Deb.
Oh, that was interesting. Well, I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer because that's Princess Kaytie. So I'll just be Dr. Deb and say...
You'll be Debbie Upper.
I'll be Debbie Upper. I'm an upper. Oh,
And Kaytie Downer.
Don't take credit. I'm going to keep it simple, which is I need a way to keep my tally helmet cooler so that I can wear it for longer periods of time.
Okay.
And I need a microphone so that people can actually understand what on earth I say. If I say Kila Salai, you're supposed to be able to understand it, okay? And if you know, you know. Otherwise...
I don't know.
See? Deb, he knows.
I don't even know.
The girls who get it, get it.
Get
and
it.
the girls
Hey.
who don't,
Just don't.
Well, girl, I ain't getting it.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it later. It's okay. And then otherwise,
I was gonna let it go.
That's the Disney Princess game. That's the
Sure,
Disney.
okay,
That's the Disney
okay.
D&D game.
Cool.
And I think otherwise, I honestly think that we need to just be able to understand that it's okay to not have the same Gen Con experience as the parents of 2 small children as we did when we did not have small children. Because I struggled with that. We both did, actually. And then finally, processing the Gen Con emotion, which is deep, realizing that that's okay. That's the stage of life we're in. One day we'll be in a stage of life where our kids are teenagers and they're going to want to stay up later than we do to be able to game. So we'll get there.
And they'll have their own card, drive themselves home.
You play
Good
the
luck,
Pathfinder
right?
game
Mommy
till
and
1
Daddy are
a.m.
going bed.
You guys play the Pathfinder specials until 1 o'clock in the morning. Good luck.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
staying up later than you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's true. So I think that's my other of next year. Whatever it ends up being with the kids, it's okay. We still get to go Gen Con. It's still our con. It's going to be okay, whatever it is.
Joshy.
I think improvements probably comes down to just, it's a similar thing we've mentioned in the past, but having more stock of things. Like Gen Con, we got to the last day, we were trying to come up with decisions on what we were going to buy, because that Kickstarter so much stuff that we ended up not buying as many games this time around, because I got like 6 of them sitting out there like, yeah, we want that one. I know, it's why I kickstarted it. Like, I knew
That's
we were gonna
literally
enjoy
what
that.
his line was in Gen Con this year. I know,
But we had a couple that were like, you know what, we're going to go back and we're going to get that. And they'd already ran out by Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
And I always struggle with that one. But that said, I am, as always, looking forward to what's new. I'll tell you, I was floored by what Paizo did this year. And when I got the chance to talk to them and find out their reasoning, I was like, you need to just keep doing that. This year, they sent all of the pre-order stuff out early. To anybody that pre-ordered anything that would have normally picked it up at the convention, they sent it out a week before the convention.
Yeah, that way they're not congesting up lines for
Correct.
people who are just
Exactly.
picking up product that they've already purchased.
Yeah, and
Correct.
so it allowed them to just focus on selling what we have. We have all the new stuff and everything, but we don't have to worry about that line of people coming to do pickup. They already have it, or
Right.
they should have it shortly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I look forward to, maybe it's hope that other companies will do something similar. Let people pre-order ahead of time. Let them get shipments beforehand because then they can show up and talk to you, and just factor that into your Gen Con expense. This is something you were going to do at Gen Con anyways.
Yeah.
Just ship it out early.
Yeah.
I thought that was a brilliant move on Paizo's part. I was glad to have all that stuff, be able to talk with people at the table about it and everything.
I wasn't afraid to go to the Paizo booth this time, because
Right.
usually I was afraid because of that. I'm like, good Lord, what is this line going to be? And it's going to, it wasn't. You could actually look and just kind of wander and be like, oh, what's over here, without having to deal with that. I thought it was smart. It made it more inviting to want to go by the Paizo booth, truthfully.
Oh, major props to WizKids, because they were. I bought both this week the gargantuan Tiamat and the newly announced Blue Dragon trophy plaque. But I didn't buy either of them
Because they
Gen
have
Con.
dual income but disposable income.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So, well,
This was a bonus. I got a bonus from work to cover the second part of this, but they gave me a coupon.
We know you're doing it again, John. We know we want to buy a dragon. Here's some money.
Yes,
pretty much.
they gave me a 20% off coupon that was good for the pre-order on that dragon head, because I was like, this is too much. He goes, oh, here, this sale starts on Sunday and it works. Okay.
Did you buy it on Monday or something?
Speaking
You bought it
of
on
Gen
Monday.
Con Sunday, as I was walking through on Sunday, I noticed a lot more of the booths aren't doing that, oh, it's Sunday, we're going to pack up, we'll give you a discount thing. A lot of them have gotten wise to that and say, well, we'll give you a coupon that's good for our online store.
Yeah.
But no more of the, you can haggle. I mean,
Yeah.
some of maybe the
Yeah.
private companies, but fewer and fewer of those are going.
The artists is where you find that the most.
Yeah.
Like
Haba
the
did it.
gaming companies, I don't
Haba
see
did
it
do
as
it.
much either.
Well, they're going back to Germany.
Yeah. Haba gave us a nice deal
That's
on our
shipping.
games.
That's international shipping.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
not
yeah.
like
It's
going
not-
from here
not
to
cheap right
California.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
So we pile the games onto we pile them on top of our children to get them out of Gen
Here's
Con.
5 games.
Literally. Here, they're on your lap. Thank you.
We're saving those for birthdays and holidays.
We have a couple of those.
We already have some of those. Moving on.
Let's see. My turn?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay. So things I'm looking forward to next year. My son will be officially done with first grade, so that is the year that we start bringing them. As once they've had a full year of regular attending school, I'll take him out the first week of school, and he gets to go to GenCon for his own GenCon day. His sister has always had traditionally Thursday, so that we get her day out of the way, and then Mom and I have Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday to play games. So now she'll get Thursday or he'll get Thursday. Then the opposite will get Friday. And then our days will wean down to, we get the Hickman Killer breakfast on Saturday because I'm not bringing my kids that early in the morning.
Yeah. And some of the stuff that happens, maybe not for kids.
Eh,
We're
it
a
depends on
maybe,
the kid,
but
right?
It depends on the kid.
Depends on the
Fair.
kid.
Depends on the kid.
But so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the masking being gone, hopefully, because Indiana is mask free, but Gen Con wasn't. So
That was confusing.
the
That was hard.
The virus can only be inside the building in
Correct.
Gen Con controlled spaces during these hours, but not the hallways so much, and only if it's really enforced.
It's really hard when you are under that. I'm just going to say you're under the helmet and you're supposed to be masked. It was so difficult. Like I felt like I was drowning a couple of times. So I couldn't wear the helmet as much as I wanted because the mask on top of the, and the helmet, it was.
Well,
it
my
was
question
hard.
would be in that situation, and not to go on to a tirade as we're closing things out, but technically it says face coverings required.
Right.
Would a mask, even as a cosplay mask, be considered a face
It
covering?
was actually
if
in the frequently asked
Yeah,
questions.
they
They
said,
said no.
Oh,
if
really?
you had a helmet like Deb, that doesn't count as a mask. You still have to wear an approved face covering
Wow.
underneath of
Yep,
that.
okay.
However,
Which
let
is
me
no-
let me give a big props to the special services crew,
Yes.
the folks that kind of helped me with my mobility. Since you're seeing me sitting down, if you're watching, and for those of you that don't see, I have some difficulty walking, so I use a walker or a cane or sometimes even a wheelchair. There's a special place for those of us that need a little extra assistance. That is special services. They do a lot, but one of the things they do is give you a wristband so that maybe if there's a big long line and you can't stand in it, maybe they'll have someone hold your place in line so that you can sit down.
Yep.
Or maybe they'll let you in a few minutes early so that you can get to the booth at the same time as everybody doing that rush so you don't get crushed as you're wheeling yourself on these carpets that aren't made for wheelchairs.
True.
So there is that. But also what it does is if you can show that you have a breathing issue from, I don't know, say having been in the ICU with COVID earlier in the year, you
Don't
don't
know anybody
have to
like
wear
that.
the cloth mask. You can wear a face shield.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I saw several people that were doing the face shield, and they'd been medically cleared. for
Yeah,
that.
so
Yes.
if
Yeah.
one of them saw me, I had my mask down or off some of the time, and they would, okay, I need you to lift that up. And then they would see my bracelet, and they would say, oh, as you were. So I can breathe as
Yeah.
necessary. That doesn't mean go to special services and get the wristband just because you want to get special services and privileges. But if you need those, it's available.
Yeah,
Right.
It's available.
I will
That is
say
cool.
nearly everyone I dealt with involving either whatever opinions you may have had, everyone was really polite. And for the most part, it was very easy to deal with. Whatever opinions on everybody was polite, and it was just nice. Like for the most part, I didn't have any like real issues about anyone's attitude either side this time around, which was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would ask people at the table, does anyone here mind if I lower my mask? And if you're speaking to me, can you lower yours so I can kind of read your lips because I have a hard time hearing? If anyone said, no, I need you to wear your mask, it was on the whole time. But there were games that someone, if they were talking to me specifically, would lower their mask, say their thing, and then put it right back up. Really appreciated that.
Absolutely.
Everyone was super chill about it. Just the enforcement of the masks was, if you're at this longitude and latitude, you're fine. But if you enter this door, you're not.
Yeah, I agree. It
Like,
was
if the state says it's okay, maybe you can.
because like in the hotels,
flexible.
like hotels are under the purview of the state of Indiana, and yet they're part of Gen Con too. I was confused. I just be honest because I'm like, well, I walk into this hotel lobby. am I in Gen Con space now? Do I have to put it up?
Well, it's because
until-
they're under contractual obligation because Gen Con is renting out certain facilities in that place, and therefore they're also setting the parameters of what is permissible and what is not inside of those areas.
So does the Starbucks that's inside the Marriott that's not running any games, is that Gen Con or not?
No,
No.
because
'Cause I
that would
honestly
be-
didn't know,
That,
and I'm
that
like-
would be a licensed.
I don't wanna get yelled at.
No, you're fine. That would be a licensed Starbucks. That if it's in a hotel, it's going to be a licensed store, which means it's actually hotel employees usually, or someone who's affiliated with the hotel that's managing it. It's not an actual like Starbucks
Right,
official
proper.
brand shop.
Yeah.
So then it's on the people who are running that business.
Right. Because, like, I remember we
So,
came in to look for Lance and Vanessa, so we went into one of the hotels, and I remember walking and being like, am I supposed to have it on or not? And Josh isn't sure either.
Yeah.
And so we're walking, I'm like, okay, I think as soon as we enter the room, we're supposed to have it on. But outside the room, I don't have to have it on.
Yeah.
If I get yelled at, I guess I know. And then I'm like,
I think, and for those of you who are out there watching this, listening to us, if you have better information or more educated information on that,
Please spread it around.
please let us know. Let everybody know. Yeah. Because as we used to say in the '90s after the Mortal Kombat game was over, knowledge is power. So and drugs are bad, right? Drugs are bad.
Yeah,
All right. So, Princess Kaytie.
Okay, so my negative and my looking forward to for next year are kind of tied together. My big negative this year was how many games I had to miss because I was incredibly sick during Gen Con. And unfortunately, being somebody who has an autoimmune disease, you can't control when you're sick. It just happens. I really was upset I missed the killer breakfast because I woke up that morning and I was just like, oh, wow, this hurts. We're not leaving today, boys. Like we'll get there a little later today. So that kind of stunk just because, like I said, it's not something you can control. It just my body was like, surprise.
yeah,
We're not feeling good.
It is
like,
what it is.
well, that's unfortunate. So a lot of my early morning stuff I ended up missing because I just wasn't feeling my best. So next year I'm hoping that I feel better. I would like to go do more things. I'm hoping the Killer Breakfast is back next year. I would like to go to that finally for once. And yeah, so that was my just kind of like, yeah, it was poopy that I was sick, but hopefully next year it will be better and I won't be sick. So just fingers crossed for that.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Also, yeah, looking forward to no masks because Indiana masking summertime. Whew.
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. Well,
will.
I would say that what I'm looking forward to for next year, Lance and I kind of chatted about it a little bit, is I actually got offered to run games with the same company, Off the Rails.
No rails.
No Rails.
No Rails Adventure Team.
No Rails Adventure Team. In a different set of games that Lance is talking about running, they actually have put together a Harry Potter 5e module that you can run with some really cool mechanics. I'm really excited about doing it, but I was sitting there with a couple of friends who were playing, and I was just observing. And my friend Andrea looked over at the Dungeon Master, and she goes, yeah, he's a Dungeon Master too. And the guy looked at me, and he goes, do you want to run this game next year? And I was
Exactly.
like, yes, I do, actually. And he was like, cool.
There's Matt.
Yeah. It was great. He gave me a card, and we talked a lot. And it's been a few years since I have helped run anything at a convention in general, minus an exhibitor table and a raffle on a Sunday. So I'm really excited about running games for them next year, and it's also got me thinking about outside of just that, because they only require 4 games to be run in order to cover your badge for the weekend. So then, there are other games that I'm thinking about possibly hosting as a dungeon master or game master, like the Real Thing RPG.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Things like
one.
that. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We've got a year to prepare and stuff, but I'm really excited about that. And I think one thing that I think I would like for us to talk about in the future, not just with Gen Con, but with conventions in general, is with this wave of new technology being available and stuff like that, I still see a lot of people complaining about when events get sold out and then people have to back out of a game and then no-show their game, and there being a lot of limitations on the technology side. I feel like, and this is a discussion that I want to have in the future, what would it look like if we went to a fully electronic ticketing system where people could literally back out of a game electronically, so then when the dungeon master pulls up who their roster should be, that person is already taken off, and they know how many seats they have available in real time.
Yeah, we did a game like that where we had to wait. The table was full,
Yeah.
but they said some people haven't shown up. Wait 15 minutes. We have to give them 15 minutes.
Yep.
15:02, we gave them our tickets and we sat down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yes, that turn the tickets in or go to the booth and or send someone and say, look, we're not
We
going to
did
show
that.
up.
We were
Exactly.
Here's our
responsible.
tickets anyway.
There are lots of ways for us as gamers to be responsible for our time to help the dungeon master and the game master. There's also a lot of things that GenCon can do to help their players and game masters do that. And that's a discussion that I would love for us to get into in the future.
Yes.
But it is not one that I want to have right now because I know that that is a whole nother tangent of things.
I will make sure that the topic coordinator is aware of this
Yes.
topic in the
Okay,
future.
cool. If you didn't know, we have a list of growing
Job titles,
officer
but no
job
pay.
titles.
Yeah, there is no
That's
pay
right,
involved.
For our free podcast.
It's a non
Volunteers.
organization.
Right.
That just means
It's a
we don't have anyone that can see
nonprofit.
the future.
And I actually had this registered as such. Should be able to get my student loans forgiven.
No, you have to petition for that.
I know, but it's been over 10 years.
Yeah, but you still have to petition for that. They can say no. Okay, so on our last episode 230 of the Established Facts, it was
Story time with Uncle Tracy.
Story time with Uncle Tracy. That's right.
You're welcome.
We established who needs dice and numbers when imagination is all you need, and who needs sleep when you've got Uncle Tracy. Yeah. I feel like it's still an accurate statement.
It's true.
And as we close episode 230, our post-Gen Con conversation and wrap up. Episode 231. That's crazy. Anyhow, the new fact. Thank you, Gen Con, for an incredible 2022, and we wish all the best to Josh and Deb's Pathfinder Society characters in their retirement.
Aw.
Thank
found
you
the
guys. We love
werewolf.
you so much, and we will check you later.
Bye.
Deuces.